My name is Carl,
My name is Oscar,
and this is Who Would Watch This?
where we review bad films and decide who would watch this.
Apart from us.
Alright, Carl, what are we going to be reviewing today?
Today we're going to be talking about The Kissing Booth 2, the highly anticipated sequel to The Kissing Booth.
I'm very excited.
It currently has a 6.1 on IMDb, a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 1.7 on Letterboxd.
And this is it out for, how many days has it been out for now? About 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's quite...
And it's already been a bit of a cultural success. They filmed the third one in secret.
Exactly.
And I saw that Noah and Marco were trending all over Twitter with like 160,000 tweets.
Wild. So it's like a
on,
Team
like,
Jacob,
Saturday.
like Team Edward sort of scenario.
I guess so. Are you for Marco or are you for Noah?
I'm for Marco. I'm going to give my spoiler away. He's the only redeemable character in this entire film.
Oh, that's a big call. Because I'll tell you right now, I don't think there's anything redeemable.
Should we just... I'll give you a very short plot. In the sequel to 2008's The Kissing Booth, high school senior Elle juggles a long-distance relationship with a dreamy boyfriend, Noah, college applications, and a new friendship with a handsome classmate that could change everything.
Wow, that is the most boring plot synopsis I've ever heard. God, I hope the movie's only an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh,
How
don't
long?
worry. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh, good. I'm glad. It means we'll probably get to flesh out things like Noah and Elle's relationship.
Oh, yeah, exactly. There's also a lot of time to really go into these characters and how they've evolved since the last one. We're going to get a lot of character development.
If you haven't listened to our last review, I guess, the one that we reviewed The Kissing Booth on, we'll both tell you that, well, because I think it's a delightful amount of fun for being just absolutely fucking terrible. And what did you think of it?
I get the sort of like the cliche, it's quite fun. It's like, it's bad, but it's fun to mock.
Yeah, it's very fun to mock. This one...
Oh my god. This one is a torture device of just how much can you bear these awful, awful people.
It's every single character to like the nth degree.
Yeah.
They've just been made so appalling and so terrible.
And the filmmaker's like, you're rooting for these people. They're the villains. Like, no, they're not. They're the only ones that are doing something right.
Oh, it's terrific to see a film that all of the conflict is just a misunderstanding.
Oh my god. It's a 5-minute communication. All they need to do is just chat. And it's 2 hours and 20 minutes of them not chatting.
I think, do we think it could have been... Well, what were your expectations heading into this?
My expectations were that I thought they would have a plan.
They do. They've set up for a third one.
I can't believe that. I can't believe... Because, I mean, what were our predictions for the last one? Because I can't remember...
I don't know. I remember watching it on a laptop one night while I was doing uni work and falling in love with it. And I tried to give this movie the same satisfaction of watching it on my iPad in bed. Could not finish it in one sitting. Had to be split over 2 days.
How much did you get through? What was the point where you went, this is long?
I thought, okay, I'm going to stop it now because then I'll only have like half of the film to go.
Yeah.
Right? And I went, okay, so it's only downhill from here. Day 2, I turn it on. I've got an hour and 40 minutes left.
Oh, you got half an hour in.
I only got half an hour in before I went, that feels like halfway.
Should we jump into the plot? 'Cause I want to know the point you got where you were like, I'm off. I'm not watching this anymore.
The first Kissing Booth begins with one of the best, most exciting monologues ever put to screen.
Oh, exactly.
And I was praying this movie would begin nearly the exact same way, and it absolutely does, which I could not believe. I think a huge issue, it feels like sometimes they're playing into how dumb bits of the first one were, in turn making it less fun because you're like, they're a bit more aware. And then also decided that they were just going to make it far more dramatic.
Oh,
like, far more dramatic.
100%.
I don't know whether we'll double down on this.
It seemed like they were self-aware. They went, oh, that opening monologue was kind of silly.
Yeah,
and then they were like, let's mock it a little bit. Because they even throw in, Mum's still dead.
I was hoping they'd kill off Noah. Just being like, things are going really well. Noah got sick. I was hoping that they would just...
Noah got lupus. Great in school.
Yeah, I'm doing better in school. I'm trying to get really into lupus. I was really hoping that all of these this is just a series of films that continues until we die.
Yep.
For as long as these actors are alive. And they just kill off the love interest in the beginning monologue of each film.
I'd like if they keep introducing better people for Elle, and Noah keeps murdering them. And we just have to stick with this awful relationship.
Things are going good. I'm finally at college. Noah murdered my last love interest. Said goodbye to him. He was stabbed to death. Played soccer. Look, I'm good at it. Period. So during this montage, we get like a handful of things that we get to see from the first film. Oh, well, one of them is the fact that they have the most expensive beach house I've ever seen put into film at a split second at the beginning of the montage.
Here's my issue. This money, the plot revolves around her needing money. This family, I think, owns a drug cartel. They are so rich, and the fact that they can't even be like, hey, here's 50 grand.
Oh,
to shout.
100%. What's it called? Noah's family should 100% be paying for her tuition.
Yeah.
Molly Ringwald's offering her so much consistently throughout the film and like refuses to be like, 50,000 over 3 years is a lot. Okay, what this pool's gonna clean itself, is it?
Don't be so silly, Elle. Don't be so silly.
Did you not see that there's 9 people here for Thanksgiving and I've made a feast for about 100?
They are so disgustingly wealthy. Noah just gives her a motorbike at one point in the first one, so you can just see they have disposable income.
Oh, so much. Noah's dorm room is the most insane thing I've ever seen committed to film in terms of there's a fireplace, velvet rugs. I think there's deer he's killed and hung like their heads off over his room.
Stuffed with the human bodies he's actually killed.
He's Marco, get in there.
Get in there, you son of a bitch.
He looks so wealthy, and it's not like a shared, it's double any normal apartment anybody would ever have.
It's like a studio flat. Oh, it's insane.
It has a private bathroom.
Yeah.
His bed is king-sized.
Now, we're jumping ahead of it, but did you notice he doesn't have a doorknob? The door doesn't have a doorknob.
Rich people don't need knobs. Okay? You should know this.
I'm a fool. I'm one of the part of the lower class where I keep turning my hand, whereas those richies just push into a door.
They just push a door. They're like, I don't want a door that locks. I want a two-way push.
No one's ever robbed me before.
Yeah. I think Noah consistently gets embarrassed that he's doing a push, not pull. So he's like, that's it. Get rid of all the knobs. It's a swinging chef's door.
I don't want to push anything.
So much embarrassment. Continuously doing it's a push, sweetie. He's like, fuck! I
want to punch this door. And he punches it. And it swings over. He's like, it's much better.
He's like, yeah, it's all just to encourage his violence. He just punches his way through doors his entire life.
No, Carl, I have to give him credit because he doesn't punch anybody in this film.
Severely disappointing. When I saw this movie was only M with coarse language, I went, but where's the violence?
Where's the murderous rage of Noah?
Where's the abusiveness? However, we're not actually out of the opening monologue yet. Yeah. We'll backtrack into it.
Okay, so the monologue starts similar, but it's just a bit weaker. I think they kind of half-assed did the exposition.
Yeah, one of the other people I wasn't expecting to return for the opening montage was the creepy ghost of the gazebo, and they give him flowers or something.
I thought he was going to come back at the end when they go to the gazebo.
I think that because the Kissing Booth 2 and 3 are shot back to back, I expect to see a bit of bleed over. I'm pretty sure the beach house is the center point for the third one, and that's why it's introduced at the beginning of the second.
Yeah, I saw like a little
because the clip that they showed for the third one is just at the beach house. Yeah. So I assume that's that. After just 2 minutes into the film, I decided to check how long was left.
What was happening when you saw that 2-hour 10 mark?
Oh god, I honestly went, did Judd Apatow make this?
It's that. It feels like there's scenes that can so easily be cut in this film. There's so many scenes we'll go through it and go, oh, that doesn't need to be there.
You know, my favourite thing about the movie This Is 40 was just all the critics being like, this is 40 minutes too long.
They couldn't do that for Kissing Booth.
2 hours too long.
Oh, God.
This should have been a tight 12-minute film.
It should have been short.
It should have been just her and Tuppen.
Oh, God. Well, thank God Tuppen's back.
Well, spoilers. Also, during the opening monologue, she says, I got to watch Lee get a super buff bod. And I went, is that not just the same body?
Oh, yeah, but I think he's just 18. Now, the OMG girls who were repulsed by him before now are like, ooh, he's good looking. Which I don't really get, because his body has not changed that much.
I'm going to say right now, and all respect to Joel Courtney, I think he might have gotten a tad fatter. There, I've said it.
That's right, this podcast will be fat shame. Let's go through all the people
No, I'm just saying,
let's go through all the people in this film that have gained weight. Alright, first off, Molly...
I'm just saying, you can't go, oh, look, look at this person that's all buff now, and I'm like, it's the same body as 2 years ago, if not, just a tad pudgier. Okay? Also, during the opening, we get introduced to 4 new rules.
Oh, I'm chuffed.
Do you remember what they were or not?
No, I forgot about the rules until they actually popped up in the actual film. Oh, you've given me a phone to read.
There you go, you can read them. I took a picture.
18, always be happy for your best friend's success. That was established in the first one.
That was in the first one, yes.
19, always go to the same school as your bestie.
How intense is that?
Jesus.
How intense is that? It's basically going, never grow.
Never leave me.
Never, it's so toxic.
We're codependent. If you leave me, you've broken the rule.
There needs to be a time limit on friendships. I'm putting 4 years on our friendship.
Carl, I'm just going to put it out there. We can't talk about this because number 20 is terrible decisions are not to be discussed. So that school rule, we're not chatting about it.
I love it. I love it. It's like, hey, I'm thinking of... So basically, when Lee gets all upset about being like, you never told me you applied to other schools, you'd be like, well, rule 18. It was a terrible decision. I didn't want to discuss it with you.
We've had these rules that we follow blindly.
Yeah, absolutely. One of them's like, if there's semen on my ear, tell me. Like, just dumb ones like that.
For over the years, they were like in this... there's another one that pops up. Number 5 is if you have a wishbone, break with your best friend. Can't believe that's the 5th thing they were like, we need to put this in writing.
Because the first one was like, share your birthday wish, right? So these people are really committed to their wishes.
Oh, exactly.
It must be like, one of them's got to be like, if you find a lamp, wait to rub it with Elle or something like that.
We each get one wish and we can share the other third. That's the rule. That's rule 3.
What the fuck? For the listener at home, Oscar put up 4 fingers.
Audio medium. He's lying. If you see something awesome, show your best friends. That's 21.
Oh god, I hate all these rules. I'm yet to see a rule where I'm like, that's a good... Actually, the only good rule is always be proud of your friend's successes.
Yeah, I thought that was nice.
Which is basically it's a rule of life.
And they don't follow it.
No,
it's the only rule they don't follow.
I don't get the point of the rules because they're constantly contradicting them. It was a big thing in the first one that they contradicted them, and then the second one they doubled down on more rules, contradicted them even more.
It's insane.
Not a fan. I don't know where this level of writing came from where it's like, we're just going to have rules pop up. Again, they're less prominent. It's not enough to be a motif.
I think that... Oh, God, we'll get into motifs. Did you notice the Audrey Hepburn motif?
Oh, my God. It's the, laziest... It might as well have been, hang in there. Or something like that. Hey, have you ever heard of this quote? Hang in there.
Hey, be nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's basically... I've got a quote that I think will inspire everybody. Always be yourself.
There you go. Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah. I bet you've never heard that before. I just blew all your fucking minds. The other thing that I found absolutely appalling, and it really upset me so much, is that Elle and Lee start a podcast.
Oh, God.
And we're not allowed to podcast anymore.
I felt so mocked. They have more followers than us at the moment. We have 0.
That's because we haven't put any up.
That's fair
For
enough.
the listener at home, we haven't bombed.
Yeah.
But
just not... This is a personal project that we're filming and recording and not going to distribute.
Yeah.
so the audience at home is just us.
It's podcast just for me. I've got a little time capsule of films I watch and talk about with Oscar. It's just for me. But I
listen to every podcast. I wasn't a fan. I was like, I could do that better. But I don't want to show it to anybody.
Never. I'm like, oh, great. Can you imagine listening to an Elle and Lee podcast?
They just laugh all the time. They're always so happy.
Probably us.
No.
We're constantly laughing.
At great bits. These...
Listener at home, I shook my head.
Carl's nodding furiously. So we have no leg to stand on. Just immediately this film's gone, hey, if you're mocking us in a podcast, you've lost. The director's put that in there, so he goes, you can't mock us.
Pretty much. Also, it's like, look, two bland people talk about things. And I was like, oh, that's us.
They got us. They got this audience.
Two bland white people. We've got Australia over them, and that makes us a little bit more...
Oh, yeah, a bit like, oh, that's an accent.
We're a little bit better. So I noticed Joey King is also the executive producer on this film.
Really?
In the opening credits. She not only has 61 acting credits...
She has 61 acting credits.
Yeah, Joey King's been in everything.
No, I know, but 61.
She's been in, like, The Conjuring and The Dark Knight Rises.
Of course, but, like 61, how old is she?
White House Down. She's like 21, I think.
Jesus, well, I guess she's a child actor. 61, so producing, wow-wee.
Yeah, like, she's going for it.
I mean, I'm glad, because I think this film is doing so well. So many people are watching it. Netflix doesn't release their information about how much people are watching it. But the director...
I'm sure it will come out, because I think that this film's done so well. She'll also pop up in our Slender Man review when we get to it. She's done a lot of work with Zach Braff. She's been at Independence Day 2. She's been in a lot of everything. Oz the Great and Powerful, Crazy Stupid Love.
Oh, I did like that.
LA World Invasion, Quarantine, Horton Hears a Who.
What's she in Horton Hears a Who?
She's Katie.
Ah.
She's in Ice Age 3, Dawn of the Dinosaurs. She's Beaver Girl. Such a mature podcast. Oh,
Joey King. Your Beaver Girl.
Do we become an exclusive Joey King podcast?
Oh my god. How many films? 61?
Yeah,
maybe actually.
Yeah, we could do
We've got the first kissy move in this one.
Here we go. You know what? When we finish doing the bottom 100, we just shift into Joey King projects.
Who would watch this? Brackets, Joey King edition.
We watch her one episode of CSI. What'd you think of her in this? I know she's in it for a minute, but I thought she was great.
Oh, the murder mystery is great. Called by a semen.
When Ted Danson caught that serial killer because of semen. Good writing.
That's good writing.
So, Joey King's also horribly green screened into the Hollywood side. Like, worse than last time.
Yeah. Why didn't they go back to their, like, we had decided, and rightfully so, that it was filmed, like, in a sound stage.
Yeah. But it looks worse.
Yeah.
She's like, it's like they said curl up on a green screen. And she went, oh, okay.
What's this for? Like a cannonball scene into the pool? Yeah, do that. Oh god, we've only got that footage. Put her in front of the L. She was actually in front of the L again, so I'm very happy. This film gets a 5 out of 10. It's very clever.
Is that the motif you were looking for?
Like...
Always like things. An amazing quote by Audrey Hepburn.
It pops up 3 times.
They might as well have been like, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Anyone? Anyone?
This film could not apply to this, because actually they're all monsters.
Oh, they're all horrible people. They also... So Elle and Noah have not talked all summer.
Yeah. So she hasn't contacted him because she doesn't want to be clingy. They've not talked for 27 days. Carl, have you ever had, like, a friend that you haven't talked to for a month? Like a very best friend?
No, if I haven't talked to them for a month, it's like, well, clearly we're not anymore.
Exactly, we're not friends. If you have a relationship, I think if I hadn't talked to someone in 27 days, they get the idea that it's over.
Now, if you haven't talked to somebody for 27 days and you want to reach out a bit of an olive branch, what message would you send?
It's just, UK? Are you okay?
It's take care. So you can't even reply to it. It's just do well.
And how does he reply? Just like...
He doesn't!
He doesn't.
Or he's like, we should talk or something like that. And she's like, oh no, we're gonna break up. And I'm like, you didn't fucking send a message to him for 27 days.
So they don't talk for 27 days.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so that's the end of the montage. We're only 2 minutes into this.
And it seems so disjointed, and it's because this film is.
And it's because no parents are dying. I think the dad should have died. Somebody needs to die in an opening.
I was waiting for the dad to die, because he hasn't really got much to do in this film.
And he looks sick.
He does look sick.
He
He's
looks
so
very
hairy.
ill. He's what?
Full of hair. Do you know... Alright, well, I'm going to go on this tangent. His whole chest hair was spilling out. His beard was uncut. Okay.
What are you... He's going to
drown. You floored the other actor being fat. I can make this...
I didn't call him fat. He's slightly pudgy. Okay? You've told this poor old man that he's overly hairy.
He can solve that very easily with some scissors.
Absolutely not. I love it because they must have been like, can you come back for the kissing booth too? And he's like, fine, but I'm not shaving.
What a weird contract to live like.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, you've still got to fly all the way out to South Africa to film this. And he's like, all right, but I'm not fucking shaving. And I pick my own wardrobe. I also don't want to have any lines. I don't want to act. Don't want to be in this.
He just looks off. He just gives weird looks the whole film.
Yeah, so Elle gets picked up for school by Lee.
Yeah.
And Lee has a hilarious prank planned.
Oh, it's pretty funny.
It's very funny.
Carl, if I was... Let's say I got the most emotionally traumatic experience of your life. And I gave you that.
It's Elle's dead mother in the bag?
It's a picture of the mum. She doesn't love you.
This is her grave. Remember when you told her about Noah here? In the montage from last film?
So,
Mum got sick.
So Lee, and I think it's actually in quite character, because Lee's an absolute monster in this film.
Lee is like eclipsed Noah.
Oh, God.
In just being
He's
horrible.
filled his shadows. What Noah did physically to people, Lee has done emotionally to people in this film.
Molly Ringwald should be arrested for raising her children like this.
Lee gets... So, in the first one, Elle wears a small skirt, gets groped by Tuppen.
So don't worry, she's good friends with Tuppen in this one,
great
so
friends
don't
with
have to
Tuppen.
worry.
It's fine. Lee's like, hey, remember when you got sexually assaulted?
Yeah.
Here you go. And then they drive off into the sunset.
Absolutely. So they're driving not in the direction of school. Elle's like, where are we going? Are you kidnapping me? And Lee's like, well, I'm fucking picking up my girlfriend.
Oh. This, subplot between Lee, Elle, and Rachel is so tragic. I hate it so much because Rachel is treated like shit by Lee.
Here's the thing. I was 100% on Rachel's side.
Yeah.
Up until a moment in the film where I went, no, you're the problem.
No, and I'll give you that. Lee is being nothing but mean to her, and then she takes him back after he, weakly apologizes. Oh, it's discovered that...
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
But I think I'd really like to raise about Rachel is... So in the first film, I said she looked so old, she must have gotten babysitters to sit her children so she could be in this movie.
Yeah.
I thought she looked even older for this film. So unsettlingly so. How old do you think this actress is?
I didn't think she was that old. I'm just destroying your point here, but I thought she was in a late 20s.
Yeah, she's 30.
Oh goodness.
She's 30 years old.
Why is everyone in this film? I know they're in fairness, they've got
I think Joey King and Joel Courtney kind of pull off looking the rightish age.
I think so too.
Noah, no.
Noah's Marco.
Tuppen, absolutely not. Yeah, Marco has a fully grown beard and is the developed body of a 60-year-old. No, that's too old. They overdid it.
He's the older you get. Why won't you dance with me, hell? Marco is built like a...
Had to say goodbye to Marco.
He dies in the third one. There's no conflict. I think that's the issue with this one. It's kind of like The Empire Strikes Back in the middle of the kissing booth, where it's left in a plot hole. But imagine Empire Strikes Back was bad. So you have just this awful middle movie where nothing gets resolved and there's no conflict.
So one of the first things that Lee has to do is choose who he thinks should have the front seat of the car.
Now, your best friend or the girlfriend?
Yeah.
Who are you picking, Carl?
Oh, I don't know. Probably the girlfriend.
Yeah, I think that's a good, wise decision. Throughout this film, Lee just treats his girlfriend like absolute shit.
So, honestly, I'm still wondering, do we think Lee and Elle are going to end up together at the end of the third one?
I mean...
I don't know why.
I still think, yeah. I think because... I think they have to, right?
They have so much more, you'd think this... I feel like this movie should be less of Elle is afraid that Noah's cheating on her. Yeah. And it should be more Noah is suspicious of the relationship his little brother and Elle have together.
100%. I mean, they kind of go... Because there's so many issues with this. Because Lee is best friends with Joey King.
Yeah.
And Noah's fine with that. Completely fine with that. Noah is now friends with... Is it Charlotte? Is that her name? Chloe. And they are best friends, but Elle finds that wrong because she's like, you can't be just friends with like a person like that. There's so many like contradictions in this film.
What was your point? I wasn't listening.
We'll cut that.
No, what did you say? Redo it. I can care. I can care. Go on. Say your point. I'm so sorry. A thing buzzed on my phone and I went, oh no. What was your point?
What did I say before that? What were you saying before that?
I don't know. I've got so many notes. I was like, we're on the 5 minutes into the film and I've got thousands of words left.
It's that. We need cuts. We need to kill so much time.
Oh god, my next note is fuck it. We'll just go keep going.
Intercom?
Sorry?
The intercom scene?
What's the intercom scene?
Where Elle like presses a button and then like speaks.
We're so far away from that scene.
God, how much have you got?
So much.
All right.
So much happens. So we get to the school and we get introduced to all of our favorite characters from the first one. This is probably the high point of the movie for me. Because I didn't think people were going to come back.
No, I didn't think so either. The fact when Tuppen popped up on screen, I was pretty happy.
When Tuppen came back, I lost my shit. She was like, hey, Tuppen. And I went, Tuppen?
Tuppen, he's back. But now reminiscing, he was a bit of a monster in the first one.
Yeah.
I don't know why
we glorified him.
Oh, goodness.
Because Tuppen means well. He wore little short shorts as an apology. He had the biggest black eye I'd ever seen.
Yep.
And he had the biggest heart.
He had the biggest heart.
So we first get introduced to what I assume is a 45-year-old in a vest. Pretending to be a gay student at the school.
Oh, no.
The photographer's back, but is emo for some reason and doesn't have a line.
I didn't even notice.
I think that's the photographer.
Oh, it might be. I didn't even notice him.
Yeah. The dork is back, being all like, I'm gross. And the rapist is back.
Thoughts?
Why?
Which one's the rapist?
The one that was just like, get in the hot tub.
Oh.
Hey, remember how you tried to like get fucking nude and skinny dip? Let's do that again together, but in the hot tub. And she's all like, no. And he's like, get in the hot tub. And Noah like storms on screen and is like, what are you doing? So I thought that was pretty exciting.
Oh, also the emo chick with the piercings is back with a different character now.
Was she in the first one?
Yeah, she was the one that Noah's kissing and Elle's like drunk, like, hey.
Oh, was that her?
That was her.
Oh, wow. Was not aware of that. Also, I think Tuppen's aged about 9 years.
He looks so old.
I've never seen
he looks like a blonde carrot top.
You know what's really throwing me, though, is it was my assumption that he and Noah were the same age.
Yeah, so Noah's just this loner that was in the year above who had no friends and hung around with like people in the year below.
Yeah, but I don't get... Because Tuppen's huge.
Yeah.
And we're to believe he is the same age as Elle?
We're meant to believe that in the first one, he's midway through puberty. So
it's yet to hit him.
He's yet to hit his peak performance. Yeah. Soon he'll be 10 foot and can just crush you with his big meaty hands.
When he hits his 18th birthday, he will take his rightful place at the top of the beanstalk. Also, everybody has so much more hair. Like, look, time has passed. Everybody's got more hair. This is the motif. Everyone's got far more hair. The dad was like, I'm going to grow out my chest.
Do you have to do that, Dad? Yes, I will be doing that. The small child was like, I'm going to get a big afro. We'll make it fun.
Yeah, they basically went, hey, we genuinely think this movie's going to be a hit. Nobody get a haircut between now and 2 years from shooting. They went, okay.
That's fine. I mean, whatever you need for this film to be realistic.
They must have gotten to the end of the second one where they were like, oh, great, we can get a haircut now. And we're like, nope, we're filming 3.
The third one, just all them shaggy hair. Matte, because they haven't been able to wash.
It's Joel Courtney and Joey King are like joined by hair. Just, oh my God.
That'd be a stronger conflict than this entire film has.
Honestly. Oh no, our hair's tangled. Noah has to punch it free.
He has to beat the shit out of the hair.
So we get to the first school day. It's minutes in, and they've already forgotten about their kissing booth presentation.
Oh God! And it's
the first day of school.
Why is it this? Because in the last one, it was like in October.
Yeah.
So they have to plan 8 months ahead for a kissing booth. Or maybe like 6 months.
Too long.
Too long.
Far too long. I guess most of it is the manufacturing that huge fucking booth.
Oh my god, but they have that in storage.
Also, this is another thing. I didn't bring this up in the last episode.
Yeah.
It's not a kissing booth, it's a fucking room. It's huge.
Oh, it's massive. The stage is massive. Also, they're not really, like, following the kissing booth rule, because everyone keeps
taking it. They're like, oh, who'd I kiss?
Yeah, it's like, that's not the rules. I mean, it's just a horny bunch of teens kissing on a stage when everyone claps.
God, I've just got so many notes about how old I think the vest guy looks.
The gay guy?
Yeah, the gay guy. It's just, why is he wearing a vest? But he looks so old. So old.
Who do you think is the youngest in this?
Like, in the cast?
Yeah, other than the child.
I don't know. Honestly, if you were to put in a lineup, Rachel,
Yeah.
Tuppen, and the dad, I wouldn't be able to differentiate their age.
Wow, that middle school is looking young, very hairy.
I'd be like, are you the son? Who are you? You've got lots of hair. We see Elle and Lee are sitting together at lunch.
Yeah.
And this really put me off, is they sit side by side
Oh
and
my
not across
God.
from
There's,
each other.
There's a third person there as well. So
Yeah, vest guy.
Yeah, vest guy. So three of them are sitting at a table.
It's two minors and an adult.
And then, so, I mean, it's to set up that the OMG girl's gonna walk in, but why would they be sitting...
It's like they're leaving space for them. They're like, don't sit across from me. That's where O will
We're
sit.
having a Renaissance painting being painted of the Last Supper. Get out of here, OMG girls.
Vest is Jesus. Noah decides to finally reply to her.
Yeah.
And she takes the whole day to choose to reply to him, and then chooses to reply in the middle of class. Rude.
Right,
You've had lunch.
The whole lunch. Are you enforcing the no phones in classroom rule? Is that your issue with the film? How dare school kids be on their
I'll say
phone?
right now, my parents are teachers.
I'm furious. That's getting confiscated.
Yep, that's right. And so if you think Noah's had any growth since the first film,
Yeah.
maybe, you think he won't be a controlling, scary freak of a man. No, he impersonates Elle's father at school just to talk to her.
Oh god, and it's an emergency. She
Yeah.
says, and her mum's died. So she's like, I imagine, constantly on edge that her
Can you imagine? She's just like, oh no, my mother's died. Oh, I've got to take this.
So he calls her, and then he's like, hey, I couldn't find a way to get to you.
Oh, so scary.
So terrifying.
Basically does the voice of like the killer from Scream. And is like, hi, I couldn't find a way to find you.
Wait, we didn't try calling on a cell phone.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Why does this school even have a corded phone?
It's for that comedic gag.
No, it's
I'll close the door, and then the
flies.
secretary is like, oh, something bad's happening.
My favorite thing was when she was like, my aunt, and then looks around for an object, and she says Aunt Rose,
Yeah.
but she looked at them and I went, Aunt Flowers. She went Aunt Rose, and I went, makes much more sense.
You're like, this film.
I wouldn't have been anywhere near as quick. My Aunt Flowers has died. I've got to go.
my aunt's jar of white roses is dead. Damn it.
Looks at her name tag. My Aunt Dolores has died. I like Noah's haircut more. There's a compliment.
I thought he looked really ugly.
You take that back.
I thought he looks less dreamy. I didn't like his haircut.
He was the only person that lost hair in this film.
And I hate it.
What do you think of Joey King's wig? Because she had to shave her head for the act.
I read up on that. I didn't really notice.
Yeah,
that.
I didn't notice either.
Yeah.
Women were giving it shit. I guess they pay more attention to hair.
But Noah's hair. Oh, let's talk about that for hours.
Talk about everybody else's hair. Who has better hair, Tuppen or Noah?
Oh, it's Tuppen, except he's got a receding hairline.
It's all curly and it comes down to like his back. So I think Lee, this is my first time where I think Lee is just a really rude person, is he has done none of the kissing booth presentation.
Mm-hmm.
He's sucking a lollipop.
Yeah.
And it's all left up to Elle. Luckily, everybody's super horny.
Oh god,
and doesn't even want to listen.
So horny. Everyone's just like, yeah, it's allowed. Who you getting though? Who we're gonna be able to smooch? Go on, tell me. And then I was like, well, I'll tell you later. And like, we're too horny.
Yeah, that was my absolute favorite thing, where she was like, think of somebody hot, they'll be there, and they all go, oh yes. I'm like, how dumb do you think we are?
Three guy's just like, yeah, bro, we're gonna get absolutely.
And the women are also like, I've thought of somebody in my head. I can't believe they'll be there. And then Lee falls for it, and Lee's like, oh, who have we got? And she's like, I made that up.
Could you not pick up on that? We've got no one.
He's like, oh, I thought Rachel would be there.
Oh, god damn it. I hate Rachel. I feel so bad for Rachel.
Oh god, I feel like Lee's character's so much dumber in this film.
He's dumber and mean. He's so dumb that he's so inconsiderate, or he's doing it on purpose, which makes him so much worse.
Oh, I know. Anyway, so she finally gets to talk to Noah, and she says the line, "My heart is doing a backflip for you." Oh wait, no, sorry. It's the like the narration, and it's like, you can't see it, but my heart's doing a backflip. And I'm medically worried for her. Hearts shouldn't do that.
See a doctor.
Can you imagine if her narration dies?
Oh no, but then we wouldn't get the rules read out to us an hour and 30 into the film.
Also, during her conversation with Noah, and Noah's like, hey, you should totally try and come to Harvard.
Yeah.
Lee's like, hey, what you doing? Just like on the phone.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, you have a girlfriend. Leave.
Leave. He breaches everyone's security and everyone's like privacy. He's such a snooper. He's such a snooperly in this one.
Also, I'm really sick of like this movie. I think does it just so much.
Yeah.
Is it makes it look like they've never had a conversation before on their phone.
Yeah, I hate that. There's so many like everyone. The only person who hasn't got that is when Chloe and Noah are chatting, and they're meant to not be cheating. But they're the only ones that have massive text.
Yeah!
And I was like, well, they're obviously cheating. But everyone else, it's like Noah and Elle dated for like a year now.
They've never sent a text. They've always been near each other.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just shout.
He's always punched his way over to her.
There's a wall in the way, babe. No worries. I'll just punch that down.
So Elle decides to go and see her guidance counselor, who then is the worst guidance counselor ever. He goes, "This is what I thought of your essay," and falls asleep.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine if somebody did that to you in high school? You'd be like, my future's ruined.
Carl, I'll tell you this though. If you read Elle's last essay at the end of this film, would you fall asleep?
Yes, because I did.
Yeah. I don't think she's a good writer.
No, she's terrible. We'll get to it, but I'm telling you right now, she should be looking at community colleges.
She's going to Harvard and she's going to be with Noah. What is she studying there? No one knows, and she doesn't know. She just wants to be with a boyfriend.
Right?
Yeah.
Also, I feel like they suddenly misinterpreted how into like the dance machine they are, because they seem to be really into just video games in general all of a sudden. I actually thought that maybe they couldn't afford to get the dance machine back, and they were like, look, they're into Mrs. Pac-Man now. Well, they always were.
I mean, in the first one, she kind of alludes that she plays a lot of video games when she's at the party, drunk, and she's like, I play a lot of games. But then they do get on the Dance Revolution machine. And what is there, Carl? What's the initials? MVP.
Yes, MVP, which you think might mean like they're the best.
Yeah,
but
I can't remember the acronym either. MVP, most very person.
I don't know why Lee wants to go to a uni that doesn't have his girlfriend. Like he's prioritizing going to a university with Elle instead of going to a university with his girlfriend.
You're right. Oh my god. And oh my god. And she's like the whole time just like, you care more about Elle than you do about me. He's like, that's not true. We're only going to the same university.
And I'll lose my shit if we don't.
I will. It's our 5th rule or something like that. It's a wishbone. But oh my god, he's a monster. They must get together by the end. Is that what we're thinking? Because they have the best chemistry, even though they're bad people. They do constantly have the best energy.
Like, I think in any other film, they would have gotten together at the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be about, like, her falling in love with I don't know. It's like, those movies are always about something, they realize, like, the person they need is beside them the entire time.
Exactly. Whereas this one's date the monster. He will defend your honor.
Yeah. We then get really confusing editing over a shot of a surprise birthday party, a mascot walking with a cake.
So in this scene, Elle's talking to, I think, the English, like, intercom person, and she puts her bag on the intercoms, and then she's saying everything out loud to everyone in school, and she talks for, I think 7 minutes about how hot Marco is, the new boy on the block. And then Lee's like, oh shit, I need to run over there and save her.
It's nice to see Lee do something to stop her getting embarrassed, because apparently this is more important than that time she tried to strip at a pool party.
Oh god, she was so drunk and Lee went, yowza, don't want to be involved with that.
Oh, what a mess. I'll let her deal with this.
But instead of phoning her, he runs across the school to try and stop her. Carl, go into your cake a bit.
What? No, it's just, I wrote down her lines of some of the stuff that she says, which is, this guy is a snack, maybe he's also the dessert too. He's the meal after dessert, he's a big meal.
Do you think they had any lines of her, but she just had to just play with it? She's like, fuck, I don't know.
It's the only part where I thought it could have been genuinely funny. I don't think in context of the movie it was funny, but I thought the lines she was saying were funny.
Yeah, they were very funny.
I think...
Because they were so outlandishly horny.
Yeah, and she's never been like that before. That's why I found it very confusing. In terms of she's never been that horny and been like, what a snack!
I want to... No, I want to eat them all
she's
up.
so horny in this. Later in the movie, she's going to go, I'm going to climb you like a jungle gym.
God,
to which Noah goes, check please.
Check please. God damn it.
Then begins the longest running montage I've ever seen on film. It's longer than Ferris Bueller. It's longer than just a race in a film.
There are so many montages in this film. It's 2 hours 20.
Oh my god, there's 9.
The montage budget was half the film. They go to so many random locations and do a second there, and there's next one.
God, also, there must have been so much B-roll footage.
Also, LA montage is kind of interesting because there's a lot of stuff in LA. Yeah. The Boston montage is so bland.
They're like, look, a pigeon. I fed the pigeon.
We went to the 3rd museum we've been to today.
What did you guys get up to today? We fed the pigeons.
Here's an hour of B-roll of us doing it. Would you like to watch? No.
I'm wondering if the director didn't sneak out and just record them when they were actually dating. It was like, this would be great in a film.
It's guerrilla filmmaking.
So Lee is running and sliding around the school like a madman. And I'm sure you're wondering, you're like, oh my god, how is the cake gonna feed into this?
Oh goodness. A massive mascot cow is holding a cake for the birthday of the Prime Minister. The principal. My mistake.
And because my favorite thing about this setup is they must have been like, okay, here's what we think is funny. She's saying stuff to the entire school. Mm-hmm. Lee's trying to stop her. What should happen? And a writer went, what if he ran into cake? And somebody went, no. We can't do that. Why would there be a cake?
We haven't established a cake. Don't be so silly, Jared.
Why would there be a cake? Who would they be taking a cake to? And somebody went, oh, it's going to go straight to the Prime Minister of the school.
But why was he in a cow costume then, Carl?
I assume it's their mascot. They're the Moos.
But they're not. No, they're not. They're their team name isn't the cow based. It's like the Raptors or something. There's definitely no cow mentioned in this film. Could they just get a cow costume and they couldn't afford the raptor one?
That's all they had. Well, we didn't realize it was supposed to be an actual live cow. It was bad props and CGO. You know what'd be funny is if a live cow was carrying a cake. Where's the live cow? We could only afford a costume. I'm sorry. Also, who do we think was in the suit?
Is Tuppen in the suit?
I think it's probably Tuppen. I don't. It's a huge person in the suit.
Hair's poking out of the cow. It's just gross.
Anyway, so the whole school yells that his name is Marco.
Yeah.
And Marco turns around with a shit-eating grin at everybody and is like, "Why, that's me!"
They all clap.
Oh my god, they applaud Marco. It's insane.
Could you imagine the first day of school, a horny child screamed over the intercom that you're very, very hot and a snack, and then everyone in your classroom just went, yeah, that guy.
And they also played off like, oh wow, Ellie's so relatable and cool, she gets embarrassed, blah blah blah. She would be mercilessly, but remember, they'd be like, hey, remember when you declared that you were wet for a person you'd never met over the intercom to everybody?
The OMG girls would slut shame her very heavily.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna say it now, there's not enough bullying in this film.
Absolutely not. Also, the piercing girl is also like, you're cool now.
After that?
Takes the phone away and is like, you embarrassed yourself, you're cool. So Elle gets given a ticket to Boston
Yes,
to go
from-
and see
from
Noah.
Yes.
Yeah. So then Noah is talking to Elle over like Skype.
Yeah.
And all of these like hotties walk in
God,
and we
they-
get our first look at who?
We get our first look at Chloe.
Yeah.
And she's a gorgeous woman at
Yeah.
university. And Elle's immediate reaction is, oh no.
She's immediately jealous. If
Yeah.
I was Elle right now,
Yeah.
it's over.
It's over.
You have no competition.
Oh, exactly.
This is the greatest woman I've ever met in my entire
She's at
life.
university. She's at Harvard.
She has the most beautiful British accent I have ever seen. Ever heard.
Ever seen?
Ever heard.
I've seen it come out of her mouth, so my brain's like,
It was like Boris Johnson. Just crawled out of her mouth. God, I found her voice very just like gorgeously British.
Yeah, and because this film, I remember the last one, there's another character in this that definitely is not English. Who has an awful voice. Well, not an awful voice, but you can just tell she's American. They made it English. I don't know why they did that. But then, yeah, in this one, she's proper English. But this film does so many dicking around because you think, oh, they're going to be cheating.
Yeah.
That's, I think, this is like the middle of the film. Is just this like conflict of
It's not the middle of the film, it's the middle hour and a half of the movie. We've had 20 minutes and they've gone, this is the first point of conflict. And you're like, oh good, there'll be even more conflict then. And then it's like, no. It's going to be this conflict repeated every 15 minutes.
Because they never... I was so let down that they weren't cheating. I was just... I don't know why.
They should... It's weird because, like, the first movie's so sexually explicit all the time. And I think that one of them probably should have cheated.
Yeah, because they are all awful people. We haven't really got into details of why they're all awful.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Because they get much worse. It's like... In terms of them having to tread water with the script, they self-destruct every character by making them worse and dig a bigger grave.
They went, okay, cool, we've made one film, that's cool. I think the characters are kind of wrapped up. They went, we're making 3. They went, fuck. Rip everything down.
Just burn it all to the ground. Yeah. So Elle decides, hey, maybe I should look into going to Harvard because Noah wants me to go to Harvard.
Yeah.
She looks up Harvard and is like, ooh, wow, it's pretty pricey. Did you look up how much Harvard costs?
I didn't know.
Because I was curious.
Yeah.
So it's over $100,000 for 4 years.
That's very pricey. Is that for board as well?
It includes... I couldn't properly find it. This includes meals. So I'm not sure if it also includes it's your classes and meals. You don't get bored. But here's the thing, like, if you're paying like $100,000 and you're getting the fucking dorm that Noah has,
oh my god,
then it's worth it.
25 grand for a year in probably the most luxurious studio apartment ever, and you're getting educated on something you like.
Yeah.
Honestly, Harvard's a bargain. Elle's a smart woman.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Move to Harvard. Can you imagine living in that dorm?
It's gorgeous.
Oh god, I can't.
We'll just take a moment. We'll just pause and think.
I want to take a I love that apartment. I love his dorm room so much more than my apartment.
And it's like, it's crushing because like,
we'll never get that.
I'll never get that.
We'll never live in something as nice as his fake dorm room in the kissing booth too.
And Noah's so blasé. He's like, yeah, it's a pretty shit room.
You know that terrible like Australian television program House Rules?
Oh yeah.
Where it's like you leave like a list of 5 rules as to what that you want your house to be, and then people abide by those rules.
Yeah.
I want one of them to be like, make it like the Harvard boardroom in the kissing booth too, and they're like, that's a tall order for rule number 1.
Well, rules in this movie, Carl, I think we can all agree that rules can be not broken.
So Elle decides, okay, I'm going to see if my dad can splurge any more money. So she wants to get a number on how much money the dad has saved for her college tuition. And this is a part that actually broke my heart because it's a reality that people actually have to live with in America because they have to pay it like this and people rely on their scholarships and stuff. She goes, yeah, how much money do you have? And the dad's like, well, I'm a single parent and I also have to send your brother to university. And she's like, well, I didn't think about that. Yeah. Genuinely made me quite sad because in Australia you can hex it. Yeah,
exactly. You can do whatever you want and you will have to pay it back later, but there's an interest-free loan. It's all handed. We're just talking about
move to Australia. Essentially, like you can go to uni. You don't like. We're both graduated. I still haven't paid like a cent.
No, it's great.
And it's stayed at a pretty low cost. Like
Whereas there, the student loans is like a proper like a credit card. Like it gets up and up and up quite a bit.
Oh, it does. It's so expensive. But yeah, I honestly was pretty sad. He's a single parent.
Is that the point of the film, or is that just the reality of America's like education system?
Can you imagine they're trying to do like a socio-economical like theme for it? They're like, look, we have a commentary on the schooling system of America.
It could, because Lee and Noah are so disgustingly rich and they don't help out.
No. Having a laughing fit because if it's a socio-commentary on the schooling system, they're like, everybody will have to win their own dancing competition to get into Harvard.
I cannot. Okay, so that's.
Why is that a plot point? It's like 45 minutes of the movie.
It's so much film, and I can't. And first off, let's talk about the rules of the dance competition, because you know the game they're playing, Dance Revolution. I can't remember what they call it in the film, but it's that. You, to win at that game, you just have to press the buttons. Why is it this like Eurovision style like extravaganza where they have to tango dance and also hit the buttons? I don't know why, and I don't know why there's such an audience for this. Because the stadium is filled with like 30,000 people. There's such a massive budget for it, 50 grand. I can't believe there's like an audience for this.
Oh yeah, when you see the audience of people watching this dance competition at the end, my mind was blown.
He's on a live stream. It's like 100,000 people watching. I'm like, I don't think sport, like any other sport in the world would get
this
that.
isn't like a Fortnite competition. There's not millions of people invested in this. It's a dance competition at a shitty arcade in California.
50 grand on the table. I can't believe that was even offered.
Yeah, right? They were making way more than 50 grand because they can just give that away. Insane. So anyway, we also suddenly get like this sporting montage for like the sports games at school.
God. We don't even need to talk about it because you just cut it.
Yeah, this is the type of... I think there's about 40 minutes you could cut. Yeah. I think you could get this movie down to about 100 minutes or 90 minutes.
Yeah, definitely, easily.
And one of the plot lines that you can cut is, and you know, I'm all for LGBT representation and things like that in movies, but the gay relationship in this movie leads to nothing and does nothing for the plot.
But at least it ends. At least there's like, hey, they want to get together. They ask each other at the kissing booth, and they get together.
Are they the same two actors that danced together in the first one? Or are they different actors?
No, I think...
Is one of them the same, and they've done a recast on the other?
I think they have, because I remember there's the guy who winks at the guy in the first one.
Yeah.
That's the same guy.
Okay, because... Elle's like, we should definitely get Tuppen on our team. Yeah. And the gay guy's like, what? No, get that guy I have a crush on. And Elle's like, she has like this head turn. She's like, I think I've just figured out you're gay.
Yeah. 3 ounces.
Very like matter of factly. Yeah, she's like, hey, come over here. Let's have a chat for a second. You gay?
You gay?
And he's like, no, I'm not. Looks off for like a brief moment in a dramatic pause and is like, how'd you know? She's like, I don't know, you look fucking horny for that guy over there.
I know, horny. I'm the queen of horny.
Yeah, I'm the queen of horny. Everything is a meal to me. An after dinner meal. A big meal.
That big 10-foot Marco boy, I'm gonna swallow him whole.
I'm gonna eat him like a snake. Marco seems to have a big, like, vendetta against... It's basically a montage of Marco treating Elle like shit.
Oh, yeah.
And she's immediately like, I'm attracted. And I'm like, stop being attracted to these people that are
established
awful.
that Elle has the worst taste in men because everyone she dates or wants to date is just a manipulative abuser, essentially.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna treat you like shit.
No, I mean, Marco doesn't treat her as bad as Noah, but he does have a guitar.
Here's what I think is going to end up happening. I think Marco's going to beat Elle to death with that guitar. I see it happening. Or she's going to get buried in it.
And Noah has to punch the ground to undig Elle.
Yeah. You know who Noah would be great in a live adaptation of? Wreck-It Ralph.
But he has no redeeming qualities. He's like Ralph. He just loves to beat. He just like he's the monster. He's like the actual villain in his game.
He's like, hey, Princess Penelope. So finally, Rachel's beginning to find Lee and Elle's relationship really weird. She's like, hey, I'm gonna go because I'm uncomfortable being around the two of you together.
And I think for the first half, Rachel is in the right.
Oh, 100% she's in the right.
Yeah, 100%.
I know, 100% she's in the right. The Lee should not be spending this much time with Elle.
I'll just split it up, and I can't. And like, the main point of conflict is that the girlfriends asked Lee to go, hey, can you give us some space? And Lee doesn't tell Elle.
Bizarre. I don't know why he's like, you know what, I'm not going to do it.
He's a coward. And like, because of that, there's so much in this film that is conflict because no one's like just chat. Just no one talks. And it just it's like it's a 2-hour film because of that. And I hate the characters so much more because of that.
Like, send a text. Clearly they're not texting each other though, because there's no history.
No history.
Only 2 people texting each other in this movie, Chloe and Noah.
And they're not cheating, even though they obviously are, because she touches him so inappropriately.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like going to get to a point where it's like, it's not cheating. She's just like, we fucked a few times. It's not cheating, right? It's just anal. We're not cheating, Elle, okay? So me and Chloe fuck around a little bit. Yeah. We all fuck around a little bit.
You go eat Marco now. Fine. It's cool.
Go on, eat him like a snack. Eat him like an after dinner meal. They're randomly just walking around California and Marco's just playing guitar and singing to like an audience. And this is my favorite thing that continues to happen is everybody rocks up in like the last minute of a song. Constantly. They're just like, oh wow, look, shall we go listen? And it just ends. And then they applaud and they're like, wow, talented. And I'm like, the whole beginning of that song could have been trash. He only gains confidence by the end.
It was in English and then he swaps to Spanish.
Oh god, it was very attractive. For that moment I went, Marco is a snack.
Say what? Marco... I'm still on Marco's side.
Oh, I'm 100% on Marco's side.
I'm Team Marco.
I'm Team Marco all the way.
I can't believe this film is trying to get us to go that Elle and Noah are good together. They spend no time in this film together. Oh, I don't. Okay. Anyway,
so Lee and Elle notice that somebody keeps getting the high score over them, right?
The Dance Dance Revolution.
And is there any sort of mystery about who we think?
The second M was on the screen, I'm like, it's Marco. There's just no doubt.
Absolutely. It was before Marco was even introduced. My assumption was, oh, well, it'll be Marco. Yeah. Because I know a guy named Marco's in this film.
Yeah.
It's going to be Marco. So they then get the high score again. Blah, blah, blah. She starts to write a personal essay, which I'm like, these personal essays are never good in a movie.
They're never good. Because each sentence starts like with a new thought. And then that means that last sentence is like void because she's grown as a person. Yeah. So it's just like segmentized like mess of an essay.
It's the same with like, have you seen The Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Yeah. So The Breakfast Club is they all have to write like a 2,000 word essay on like who they want to be or something like that.
Yeah. For detention.
And they don't, but they decide to work together and the nerd writes the 2,000 word essay. Yeah. Except what bugs me is his then ending speech of the movie, that is the reading of the essay, is not 2,000 words. It's only like 150 words. It's just the conclusion. So basically, they've handed in way under the like amount that they need. It's a big issue in The Breakfast Club. A near perfect film, in my opinion. Flawed by the end essay. Don't put an end essay in your movie, people.
Because they do it in this film, and it looks similar, about maybe 400 words.
Oh.
And she gets into Harvard, the top school in the whole world off that.
I love it. It's like they've made it, it's, you know, somebody that's dyslexic reading, and they're like, I like it because it's short.
It's short, and I read it easily. I don't know why British people are dyslexic in this universe.
I like it because it's short. They're like, hey, Winklevoss twins.
Squeeze of this.
Yeah, have a little look at this. She's going to be our new Facebook girl.
I did think he was going to make Facebook. It was a very, I don't know why, it's very David Finchery, the Harvard scene. I mean, it's filmed at Harvard, but the fireplace was very evil to me. I felt like Noah's going to plot something.
David Finchery, yes. There's a cat. Noah's like, I'm going to kill everybody.
So the MVP, they're doing the Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
And then the two, Lee and Elle, are like, hey, Marco, come over here. We need you to be a part of the kissing booth. First off, I don't think do you think the kissing booth is going to return in the third one?
Oh, I don't know. I actually think that like they probably should have just dropped this kissing booth thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I think they should just drop. One is this dance plotline.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think the other should be I honestly don't think you need the dance plotline, Marco, the gay plotline. Like, you could definitely just still keep it about, like...
A lot of the sport montages. A lot...
Most all montages.
I feel like this film could have been a lot more about, like, long distance. And it could have been, like, 90 minutes, a bit short. And, like, it might not be great, but at least it'd be, like, consistent for the whole thing. That long distance is really hard.
Oh, this feels like it's Kissing Booth 2 and 3 put together.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much going on, but also nothing. So, Elle and Lee approach Marco and are like, hey, do you want to be in the kissing booth? He says no. Yeah. And they're shocked. Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean? I would not be I don't want to be in a kissing booth.
Hey, new kid, you want to be in this kissing booth?
You want to make out with everybody in the school?
Yeah.
New adult. Do you want to be in this kissing booth, you 90-year-old?
By the way, a week ago I said you were the snackiest man alive. Can you please be part of my horny kissing booth?
Hey, can you let me eat you? She then pulls some basically, she's like, hey, if I beat you at a game in the arcade, you have to be in the kissing booth. If Marco beats you, then Marco has to babysit the sister. I thought the sister was going to come into the movie, didn't? So then Elle is like, well, everybody in the school is really fucking dumb because I pulled it on the people that were like, hey, picture somebody hot, they'll be there. And she's basically like, first me at every machine in the arcade, but that one. And he's like, oh, I want that one then.
No, but that's the worst part. She picks. So she doesn't even need to do this. She goes, I picked the Dance Dance Revolution. But she's just done this to sort of snake him, so he's like, you're not gonna be that great at that one, I guess.
Yeah. And we know it's going to be him that's really good at it.
Yeah.
However, he doesn't win, which I thought was odd.
I thought that was insane. I thought that they would have to go back and try and get him to the kissing booth. Why even bring up why set that all up for him to lose? Why not just he walks into the arcade, she's like, let's play Dance Dance Revolution. He goes, oh, you're really good at this. I want to be good at this. And then we cut 5 minutes from the film.
Oh, just like bizarre. And also during this, so Elle ends up beating him at the dance thing. Whatever, that's fine. And then it cuts to just Rachel outside the cinema by herself, and Lee's like, "Oh, I've just forgotten about Rachel." And Elle's like, "Why does that matter?"
Elle has no sympathy and she has no empathy towards Rachel. She just doesn't get that it's his girlfriend, and she should leaving it at a cinema for 45 minutes is bad. Yeah, but she's like, "But we were playing Dance Dance Revolution. Why don't you stay with me and this random boy we've met for the first time?" So then
my next point is because Lee then drops Elle off at the airport to fly out to Boston. Yeah. And then I just have the note of, this airport's quiet. And I've written that about 4 times throughout. All the airports are quite quiet. It's LAX. It should be very busy. I've been to LAX. It's very busy all the time.
They must have shut it down and then go, we can't afford extras. Nah, fuck it, nothing. It's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Or they shot it during quarantine, so just nobody was there.
Yeah. So Rachel then breaks up with Lee. Is this when she breaks up with Lee at the cinema? Because she's like, you left me for 45 minutes? They break up then, don't they?
I think so. I think it's somewhere around there. But when they fly out, I think that Elle and Noah have better chemistry now that they've actually broken up in real life.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. I think they seem alright. It doesn't seem awkward.
No, but I guess, do you think so they were dating in the first one. They break up just before this one, is it? In real life. Yeah. King and
I know. We get another montage. I've written that I think Noah has a nice cardigan on.
As a point for the film. It's a gorgeous little cardigan.
Again, and up until this point, I think the movie feels PG. And then they're just like, hey, we're going to make it R. And they have a sex scene.
His film, I don't know why. I mean, I get why, because that's sort of like, oh, look at us, we're a bit raunchy and whatnot. But keep it consistent. I forget. Yeah. You're right. I keep forgetting it.
It feels like Nickelodeon movie.
Yeah.
And then it's like sex.
And then they drop a hard F-bomb, and then you're just like, oh, goodness.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of what the opening monologue is.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, hi, we're having a great day today, and everything's going fine, and fuck!
Mum's dead with Lou.
So they have sex and then just go out for dinner again?
Yeah.
Is it a different day? I think it's the same day.
I've not written much about this montage. There's a lot of this middle that just feels like a blur.
Yeah, and then so they go out to dinner. Chloe's there. I think Chloe's still the most intimidating person ever committed to film.
Terrifying. What a great actress.
Yeah. She's doing great.
Give
I love
her
it.
that.
She is. She's probably like one of the best actresses in the film, I think. I think Elle has no chance, and she has a right to be worried.
But then, I mean, it's revealed that they're not cheating. But for the whole film, you're kind of like, you are cheating, because she finds like an earring under his bed, which is explained away awfully. They're touching.
Yeah, I broke into your room and crashed there, and I left an earring.
Anyway,
I also love how Elle finds out she's just snooping her Instagram, and it's like, there's the earring.
There's
there it
the
is. One of my favorite things is when they're sitting around at dinner, and Chloe shows up and is like, "Oh God, Elle, you're so pretty. It's a shame with Noah. He's really ugly." And one of the characters goes, "Oh, burn! He's really ugly."
Noah's famously so attractive. We've been over this many times.
And then Elle keeps on looking at how Noah is reacting to Chloe. And this is my favorite thing, because Elle's like, God, Noah's so into her. Look at how intensely he's listening to this story. And Chloe's telling the most amazing story ever of how she was nearly killed by a hippo in the Amazon River. Of course he's going to be listening intently. It's the best story ever. She lived through a hippo attack, and you're holding that against him? You should be listening.
But then don't they have voice of her going, oh God, I'm so jealous. Like, shut up. Let me hear the lovely hippo story.
Oh, I want to hear that. She's basically like, so then me and my mum, the hippo bit the boat in half. And I was like, fuck, what's gonna happen?
I love that the writer was this like genius, and he's gone, I'm going to put the greatest story in the worst story ever.
It's his other script. It's like a little mini pitch for like another film in it.
Hey,
hippo
Netflix.
attack. Hey Netflix, if enough people are receptive to this little story Chloe tells, can we make it?
No, you're making Kissing Book 9.
It's Jaws, but a hippo. Also, my last note on this scene is, how is Elle drinking wine?
Okay, so they show in a montage she has a fake ID, but everyone should have a fake ID. I saw on BuzzFeed, like I read top 20 facts. People are very annoyed at this. People were just like, shouldn't be drinking at underage. And it sort of promotes it for children. I feel like such a parent during this whole podcast.
Oh, I immediately went, this film's dangerous,
Yeah.
and I would not let my child watch it.
Oh goodness, the swears?
You know, maybe that's why everybody in the movie's 30 to 45, so it doesn't encourage children. They don't see anybody that's
what are those
the same
adults doing on screen?
Also, I love the fact that, because, Elle finds the earring and then sees it, very invasively reads through the messages of Chloe and Noah. And then
she comes across the text, which is it's cheating. She's like, I'm gonna have a bath, and he's like, oh, that's steamy.
she's like, I'm fingering myself to you. And she's like, oh, what? What's up here?
It's essentially that. And at the end, they explain it away. It's just like, we're good friends like you and Lee.
Well, just fuck buddies.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's fine. Nothing serious, though.
But I just love the fact that because Elle was like, she sees a text from Chloe and loses her shit and runs away. But Lee stands up his girlfriend for 45 minutes outside the movies, and Elle's like, what's wrong with that? And I'm like, the same thing's happening to you, but you have no remorse for it happening to the other relationship.
It's that, because it's the exact same. So you got Chloe, who's best friends with Noah, and then you've got Elle, who's the girlfriend. She's like, how dare you do that to him? I can't relate. And then you have Lee and Elle, and you also have, what's her name?
Chloe.
No,
Rachel.
So I thought that she would go, the story would overcross.
Yeah, and that's the learning point.
Yeah.
Is that she learns to give space because she learns to trust Chloe or something like that. I don't
something
know.
like that.
But
But it doesn't go through that. So it feels like an absolute waste. And then Elle becomes a monster, like just a dickhead.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't treat him right.
This is where so just before this scene is where I stopped the film and went, that's enough for me today.
Oh, it does feel like...
It does feel like that.
It does feel like an hour and a bit in.
Because when I turned it back on, there's 95 minutes left. Yeah, so then Elle decides to confront Noah over phone. And she's like, I think you're cheating. And then Noah's like, Chloe's just a friend. And Elle is like, oh, well, I got you. How'd you know I meant Chloe? And I'm like, I don't know, you told him that you checked his phone and the only messages there were from Chloe. Like, you put 2 and 2 together. He did what you asked. He checked his phone and was like, Chloe's the issue. You haven't caught him out. He did what you asked. But Noah knows what'll cheer her up. He puts Elle on his Instagram and immediately goes out with Chloe.
Oh god, he's so bad. Because this film does set it up to believe that they are cheating, and I can't believe they dick you around for like a good hour thinking that, and then nothing really comes out. It's just that Noah's a good guy and he's making friends, and that's like the whole point. And it's just nuts that like. It's just so frustrating. This film exhausts me.
Yeah. Also, Lee says things aren't better with Rachel since she got back.
Yeah.
So Elle's like, I'm sure you'll do something to fix it. And Lee's like, yeah, I'll do something to fix it. Like it hadn't occurred that he should do something.
Oh, my actions can make other people feel things. I guess I should do something about it.
I thought she had all the power. Turns out I could fix this issue. All I needed was my best friend Elle here. Who is the issue?
They're so... I'm just like flabbergasted that Lee is allowed to be the person he is, because how is Rachel standing by him when Lee is such a bad person to her and obviously is more like together with Elle?
Yeah, totally. Also, so at this point is when I wrote it down, the film is so bloated. And I listed what we have, which is we have the kissing booth again, we have the new kid, we have the dance comp, we have applying to colleges, we have Noah at college, and we have both of the relationships being in trouble.
Yeah.
Too much.
That feels like it's like 2 films, and
It's 20 minutes shorter than The Dark Knight. So much happens in The Dark Knight.
So much stuff happens in The Dark Knight. And then... Oh, we up to the Ferris wheel bit yet?
Oh god, I don't know, Han. We've got Lee stealing the intercom and declaring his love.
Oh, I worked it out. Okay, so they've been dating since the last kissing booth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was like in November, August sort of thing. It's now like 8 months later. This is the first time he said I love you to a girl. Have you ever been in a relationship for 8 months and not said I love you? We might be digging into carving once, dude. I thought that was weird. I don't
know. I'm constantly afraid to say it and wait for the other person to say it. I'll be honest. That's all it's ever been, is I play the waiting game and it ruins the relationship.
We're mocking this film, Carl, but it seems like you've done a lot of kissing booth antics in your lifetime. That's really making you... Because I want to criticize these characters.
Am I the tuppet of this film? Maybe.
We'll go into detail. Yeah, I used to beat up people whenever they dissed a girl. Anyway, that's my thing.
Also, I feel like this declaration of love should just be at the end of the movie.
Yeah, to save it, because they can't do this.
There's still 50 minutes to go.
God, and then they go, are they on the rocks again?
Yeah, they are, because then she shouts at Elle. Also, the principal needs to put a fucking lock on this microphone. 9 people use it throughout the film willy-nilly. They're like, hey, I'm just going to go perform a hate crime on this microphone over the school.
Who would perform a hate crime? Just who do you think?
Toppin!
It's Toppin.
It's Toppin for sure. Him in his little cougar costume. Why do the OMGs keep sitting with them just to stir shit? I don't get it.
Oh, they rock up. They go, hey, your relationship's in trouble. All right, bye.
Yeah, they're like, hey, it looks like Noah's cheating on you online. We don't have an actual opinion into the whole matter, but that's what it looks like from the outside. You should be worried.
We're going to leave this table and leave you 4 on the other side of the table.
Yep, that's right. Also, why did Elle keep the earring? She keeps looking over it and is like, this earring.
Died him.
It's like she's going to perform a ritual and she's like, this is the piece I need.
She's going to voodoo it for Chloe.
So Elle decides to just confront Noah about it, an answer which is very sensible, and this is, I think, the best acting from either of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, she's like, it's been really tough, and he's like, I'm not getting good grades in school, I really need you, I feel very lonely.
Yeah.
I think it's the only good scene of actual drama and acting in the entire 2 films.
It's the first time they're actually redeemable. Like, the fact that Noah's like, I didn't have friends in high school, it didn't matter, but I had you. I've gone to like university and I'm like pretty lonely because I've gotten used to being with you, so I had to make friends. And it's a new thing. The
most relatable piece of writing that they've done yet.
Yeah.
Where it's actually like, these characters are feeling things that people genuinely feel in real life.
Yeah.
It's not just weird antics like running into a cake.
A comically sized cake. Trying to stop your friend talking horny over an intercom. But then this scene ends, but they don't because she goes, "You're cheating on me with Chloe."
Yeah.
Why doesn't he say, "No, I'm not"?
Well, why doesn't she confront about the earring?
Yeah.
And go, "Hey, whose earring is this?" And he can go, "I don't know. Bring it up later." Then Chloe will be like, "It's mine."
Yeah.
Because it all plays out weird. Also, we then come to the only good joke that I thought was actually kind of fun in the movie.
What
Oh god, there's like 45 minutes left. It's their Halloween costume where they're s'mores. I actually thought that was a really funny, because Rachel's wanting to kill herself in the middle, and Elle and Lee are like hugging around the marshmallow.
I think it's a funny gag, but again, it just displays of how these two are so
out of it, and so
Rachel.
Because my other favorite thing is the fact they forget to tell Rachel they're not doing the costume.
Carl, if you have 3 people in your friend group, so 3 of you, what costume would you do? Would you do a 4-man group on the Ghostbusters? Why are they...
Let's list some trios. The Harry Potter trio. Just so many other famous trios.
Why would they do... So they go through the Ghostbusters. So they dress... So 2 of them are just... One's spiky hair, one has like space buns, and she rocks up as a small costume. And she's understandably upset.
Because it's the biggest costume I've ever seen. And she like rolls out of a car in it, and they're like, "Oh no!" Because also, they nailed their actual Ghostbusters costumes. They look sick.
They're great.
I feel like they're just the leftover costumes from Stranger Things season 2.
I definitely thought that. They were like, "We got these costumes. Do you want them?" Yeah, sure, go nuts.
Also, just before that, because Elle's decided she's just going to do the dance competition with Marco.
Yeah.
Marco's like, "Look how miserable you are on this phone," and she looks depressed.
Is this when they're doing the dance?
Yeah, and she's like, "Look, I recorded you."
Yeah.
And she's like, "I'm gonna kill myself." What? And he's like all happy and enjoying himself.
But again, I don't understand, because Dance Dance Revolution, you meant to just hit the buttons. That's the main goal. It shouldn't be what you look like. And it's essentially just a dance competition. I don't know where's the audience for this? Who is watching this very specific game?
I don't know why it's not like just a normal dance competition. And that she's gone, "I'm okay at dancing because of that dance thing.
Yeah.
What if I attempted to do this?" And then Marco was just a good dancer.
And has to teach the dance. A very sexual, sensual sort of ritual.
Yeah.
Which kind of would make, again, they have more chemistry in this film.
Oh, they have so much more.
Because they have more time on screen together.
Do you want to describe their little D&M they have on the beach? Marco and Elle?
They chat. And when he pulls a guitar out of his anus. There's
a lull of the conversation and pulls it into frame and is like, "Oh,
let me sing you a song."
And then he doesn't even sing. He strums a few lines and hums. And Elle's like, "I don't know who I'll pick." And I'm like, how did we get to this?
That's the conflict.
Yeah, because then Noah lies about going to a concert with Chloe. And I'm like, stop this conflict. It's bizarre. You just keep renewing it.
The film keeps going, he's cheating. There's no way he's not cheating. And that means, and if he's not cheating, then he's just kind of like a bit of a dick.
Also, is Marco the only musically talented person at the school? He's constantly singing everywhere. They walk into the Halloween party and it's like just him again, and he's like, "I'm doing it as a favor, but I'm the main act."
But then they have a backup singer, and then they have another backup singer.
Yeah.
Also, I just need to talk about this for about 9 hours. So, when they're walking into the Halloween party, there's a bunch of people with candlesticks holding them outside of a door. Carl, have they paid 8 people to hold our candlestick outside of a hole in the wall for the entire party?
I think yes, but the disturbing thing to me is the fact that they've genuinely had to pay people for the film to hold the candlesticks there for how long this scene took to shoot, which probably was 8 hours.
Yeah. Real life people got paid to do that. Very sorry if that was you.
Yeah, I'm surprised this movie doesn't have a thing where it's like, many people got 3rd-degree burns. My whole hand is just wax. So then Marco's like, "Hey, should we have a dance?" And this new singer comes out, and Marco's like, "Just feel the music." Why?
Just feel it, Carl. Just feel
the music. Creepiest thing ever. Can you imagine if you were having a slow dance with somebody and they went, just feel the music.
I think we both agree that we probably would dance and feel the music now that we've done it.
Oh my god. Actually, you know what? If Marco walked up to me and whispered Oh god, I would eat him in a
I'd
heartbeat.
melt.
He's a big meal. Like an anaconda, swallow him whole. Also, so she starts dancing, and the OMGs are like, "What?" But she has a boyfriend.
The OMG girls are quite. There's just kind of a point of reason in this. It's kind of like, hey, boyfriend's probably cheating on you. What are you gonna do about it?
They're basically like the three singers from like the Hercules cartoon.
Wait, the
The
singers
Zero
or-
to Hero ones that
not,
are just
not
like
the evil eye people.
no, not the evil eye. Well, I guess they're a bit of both.
Yeah.
Just the ones that are like narrating the story. They're like, "This is how you should feel right now." Just
Wow, this
throughout
film
it.
really takes from Greek mythology quite a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, because then Elle's like, "I actually can't be this with you, Marco. I have a boyfriend."
Yeah.
And Marco's like, "All right, then I'm just gonna go back to singing," and just jumps back on stage.
And then the scene ends.
Yeah, Elle and Lee then dance for 10 minutes in front of Rachel. Like, I hope this doesn't make Rachel feel bad that we've learned this whole dance
Rachel's
routine.
almost in tears at this point.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like, I don't want to talk to you, Elle. Elle's like, what's going on, my hombre? What we doing? Why are you so sad?
She then flips out at Elle in front of everybody, which
Yeah.
I think would probably be the most humiliating thing possible to happen at a high school.
Yeah.
Like, it would crush me.
But this school is insane, Carl, and day to day people are
They're a mob mentality.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're gonna fucking cheer on whatever. Oh god, there's still 50 minutes to go. Is that right?
Yeah, there is. There's so much. We've got to do the whole dance sequence, the dance competition.
They start freestyle dancing at the machine, and that's where I'm like, I don't really get what dance competition they're going into.
No.
Are they dancing or are they using the machine? I don't know how they get 100% accuracy.
Because they kind of luck out because their dance sequence. There's parts when they're doing their dance where they just get off stage for a moment. I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's
the game
weird.
is very like, you need every second counts.
Also, they do their dance in like the middle of the arcade, and it's like feel the music, and like it goes green screen, and somebody's. Can you imagine if you were in an arcade playing, and these people were having a sensual dance on a machine behind you?
But then Joey King's green screen face pops around. Like, oh my
Whoa,
god!
I'm doing this for my mother. And then at the end of this, Marco does his signature. Hey, your shoes are untied.
And she doesn't check and walks away.
But also she's like, that's my Marco. And I'm like, why is that your thing? Your shoes are untied. Be
Because
more
they're established.
think of what Audrey Hepburn said. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
That was not Audrey Hepburn, that was Gandhi.
I can't remember her actual quote. It's something fucking like, just like,
No, I like-
commitment, finish the job.
Just do it, Nike
Yeah.
swoosh.
Yeah, pretty much. As Nike said, just do it. Also, I feel like they should. There's $50,000 on the line. 50,000. I'm constantly like, why don't you care more?
No, and they win. So they do it. Should go just real quickly. Rush through this. They do the dance competition. They win. They kiss. Noah's in the audience. He's like, "This is the first I've heard of this."
Yeah.
Very angry.
Because at the same time, Lee's watching from his phone
Yeah.
because he's just found out in Elle's backpack she's applied to a lot of colleges.
Yeah.
Because this is a bad decision, she doesn't tell him. One of the rules,
Rule
Lee
19.
can't get angry.
Rule 19.
Rule 19.
Can't get angry.
Also, one of the big moves in the dance competition is Marco just does a backflip. It's insane.
He has a backflip onto the thing, but
Yeah.
he like spends like a good 10 seconds like hyping up for it. I'm like, the buttons must be 100% accuracy.
Yeah.
They didn't miss a single
Can you
thing.
imagine? It's like, it's getting to that part of this little dance routine where it says, do a backflip onto these two
Oh, I've
tiles.
got to do a backflip
Oh, no,
now.
not a backflip.
Whoa.
Whoa.
So they kiss.
Yes, they have a pretty intense kiss, and I've gone, good,
Good.
make out.
I think Elle should be with Marco. I think Noah should be with Charlotte. And I don't think Lee should be able to procreate.
Lee's not allowed to continue on. They need to kill off Lee,
Yeah.
or put him on a leash and castrate him. He's just not allowed.
Let Rachel get out of this film.
Rachel
Go back to her
needs,
kids.
Rachel needs a healthy relationship, needs to get back into reality. I'm afraid she's trapped in this movie like Pleasantville, and she doesn't know how to get out.
She's in the third one, so she's been
Poor
roped in
girl.
again.
Also, so Elle notices that Noah's in the crowd and has witnessed the kiss. She goes to run off stage to talk to Noah. A guy violently grabs her
by
and
the
throws
neck.
her back
Rosie, here's your money. Go take
You've
it.
won $50,000. She doesn't care.
No, and it never comes back.
Here's the thing: if my relationship was falling apart, but I've also won $50,000, pretty chuffed.
I'll be honest. At least the whole day I'll be like, you
Yeah.
know what? I'll think about it tomorrow. But at the moment, I'm pretty happy.
Especially if it's only a high school relationship.
Yeah.
If I was 17, I've won $50,000, and it's only because I'm slightly connected to somebody who lives in Boston, I'd be like, lost cause. And then wrap myself in the big check and fall asleep.
No, Carl, you said 50 grand, and you're rightfully so, because does
50,000 American. It's like 75,000 Australian.
but does
Get a home loan on a house at 17.
does Marco get any of the money?
No! She gets the full 50. What's Marco's income? His guitar looks shitty. I assume it's low.
He gets nothing, and that's, you know what? He loses the girl and he doesn't get any money. He's such.
He gets cucked consistently. It should be called the kissing cuck or the cuck booth. The cuck booth? I'm sticking with the cuck booth.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
But yeah, he's a bit flawed, but he's the only one that I'm kind of like.
What's he flawed by? He's fucking great. What does Marco do that's wrong in the movie?
The guitar.
Oh god, the guitar makes it wet. You want a drink before you have a big meal.
Rachel and Marco should get together, and then I'll be happy.
Could you imagine if Rachel ends up with Marco? Oh my god, I'd love
I'd be
that.
so much happy.
Here's what I want for the kissing booth free. Rachel and Marco, they go off happy.
Yeah.
Elle gets Lee, Noah dies. That's my hope.
That's perfect. And I want Lee and Elle to be moved to somewhere where no one can ever see them again.
I want them to go and like be Eskimos in an igloo, and all they've got is their dance machine to keep them warm at night. I honestly wouldn't. If that's how the movie ended, I went. That makes sense.
3.5.
Yeah,
Great.
3.5 stars. Good. It's 9 hours long. It's the Irishman of the kissing booth. Okay, we get to Thanksgiving. Nobody wants to talk to Elle. It's the most awkward Thanksgiving I've ever seen. Rachel hates Elle, but she has a point.
Lee's there, but she's angry because she's going to Harvard.
Yeah. Also, oh my god, I'm so excited. I just got to the big twist of the film.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, at the end of the last movie,
Oh my God.
Rachel overheard Lee saying, yeah, I dumped Rachel for you.
And in the first one, you're kind of like, oh god, that's on.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that's rough, but okay, they should get together. How can Rachel stay with this monster of a man? Lee is the most emotionally manipulative and just has no empathy. Why are you sticking with this man?
It makes me think the father is all the issue and Molly Ringwald is like a prisoner in the house.
He doesn't say a word. I imagine he's just a stern look like
Yeah.
emotionally abused women.
God, it's the most exciting Thanksgiving ever. There's so much drama. I love how...
Because Charlotte is also there.
Yeah, Chloe's also there.
With Noah.
Also, in a big power move, right? So Rachel's run away crying or whatever.
Yeah.
In a huge power move, Elle's like, whose earrings this then?
Oh, yeah.
And Chloe's like, oh, you found it!
Yeah.
And it's like, thank you so much. I've been looking for this. Like, so pleased.
Yeah.
Does not work out the way that she thought it would.
Oh, because but Noah explains that he brought her there, even though he knew that she expected he was cheating.
Yeah.
She's like, I wanted Chloe and you to be friends.
Also, I love how Rachel knows the rules. She starts quoting rules.
Because all they fucking talk about is those goddamn rules. There's a scene where Rachel's walking with them and they're just listing the rules, and Rachel's like, I'm gonna dip. This is boring as shit. Stop listing your fucking rules you made when you were 5.
As if Lee's not like, fine, Rachel, me and you can make some rules, and Rachel's like, cool, rule number 1, you can't hang out with Elle. Done.
Done. That's what we did.
Done. Negates all your other fucking rules.
Number 2, if it's your birthday, you have to blow out the candles.
Yeah. Also, it turns out Chloe is a really great gal. I really like her. I'm rooting for Chloe.
Yep, Chloe's the...
Elle should end up with Chloe.
Everyone that's...
Marco and Chloe should end up together. I hate Rachel now.
Oh, God, Rachel takes them back, and then you're like, oh, Rachel, you... Why? You were out.
Also, because Elle's like to Molly Ringwald is like, hey, can you give me some advice? And she's like, yeah, here's the advice. And then Elle looks around at the huge meal, and then Molly Ringwald goes, don't worry, I'll clean it up. And I'm like, it's a huge fucking mess. But I love this empty offer of Elle being like, before I fix my life, should I clear a plate? I don't know.
No, but then she says, clear your life, sweetie.
Yeah.
Just like,
You're a mess.
You're a fucking
You're 17 years old, you've won a dance competition, you've got $50,000, and everything's in shambles.
Everyone wants to fuck you. It seems like you're a goddamn goddess.
Yeah, go break a fucking wishbone, I guess. Rule number 5, Elle, you forgot. Oh, okay, there's still 29 minutes left, and they're only just getting to the kissing booth.
Oh, God, they throw it at the end. No, actually, no, sorry, I will talk about the kissing booth, because Elle orchestrates Lee and Rachel to kiss anonymously. What if this goes wrong?
Oh, that's what I thought. I thought that was the most fucked up thing in the movie, was the fact that she decides to not tell either of them, get them both blindfolded, and have them kiss.
In a better teen movie, that's the conflict.
Yeah.
That's the really fucked up thing.
Yeah.
Like, your bad boyfriend and ex now kiss. But they're like, I guess we are in love.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Also,
gross.
Lee gets homecoming king. And Marco's like, hey, tell your brother congratulations. And Noah's like, the fuck you say?
What did you just
Gets
say?
his fist out, like
shaking
with anger, but he doesn't hit him. And that shows growth.
The more I think about it is that I think he went, he probably could kill me too. It's like a line. He's assessed the risk on. Not really worth it.
Then Marco turns. Elle and Lee are running to their car. He goes, I'm going to catch up to them. They're like a kilometre in front of him. He nearly gets them. It just cuts and he's almost there. And then they get out of his reach. And I'm like, you're fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I've just got Rachel's 30. It's my other thing.
I've got Lee as a bad person.
Yeah. Ollie gets his boy. And everybody applauds. It's the most accepting school in the world, apparently.
Yeah.
There's got to be one conservative in there going, yuck.
This is what this film didn't have enough homophobia. Where's the realism?
I just think, the
you are right. There should be, like...
The representation's great and stuff, but, like, I recently watched Love, Victor on, Hulu, which was really good, because it showed not everybody's accepting.
Yeah.
But... most of, like, the LGBT content I've seen is, like, everybody will love you if you do what's you. And I'm like, not the case.
Yeah.
The world's a cruel fucking place.
Except for these magical people that live in this magical school.
This magical school down in South Africa. That's the only place where everything works out fine. So, yeah. Also, everyone just keeps taking off their masks.
Oh, God. Every single time, like, who kissed me? Oh, it's that.
So Marco hops into the kissing booth. He's like, hey, should we, like... Kiss. Elle's like, nah, don't like you. And he's like, cool, glad we wrapped that up. Don't know why I was in the film then, except I won you. I mean, you know, it'd be funny if she was like, no, I don't love you. And he's like, cool, I want $25,000 then.
Rightfully so. He put in the exact same amount of work as her.
He put in more. He did a backflip. Yeah. What did you do, Elle? She does like a tumble roll?
She does. She rolls over the thing.
So, there's still 20 minutes left. I've written blah blah, everything ties up, because I've stopped caring.
She goes to the airport, Chloe's like, I wasn't cheating on you, blah, 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 go back. And then,
Dude,
they go to that fucking gazebo real quick.
Yeah, go on.
They go to the gazebo, that I just, I was kind of hoping the ghost would rock back up, but he didn't.
So, we get to hear Elle's essay, which is like, I want this character's kindness, I want this character's love, I want this character's violence. I want Noah's raging violence.
Rage. It's such a drive that I think you don't see in many people. I want my brother's, I don't know,
I want
hair.
Lee's controlling me. Yeah, I want my dad's hair. I want my dad's chest hair. I want Rachel's age and wisdom.
I want Tuppence' unstoppable goddamn force. Yeah. He'll never stop.
I want Tuppence' golden goose eggs. If the next film is literally Jack and the Beanstalk, but it's Elle defeating Tuppen, I'm all for. I would pay a lot of money to see that. Oh god, it's the worst essay I've ever heard. And afterwards we hear like she's lying, but Elle goes, "I got waitlisted in every university."
I was so happy.
And I went, "That makes sense."
I was like, "Thank God these universities." So when they're like, I got into both, I was furious.
Yeah. Also, Marco looks back and is like, "Wow, I want her. Yeah. That's all I want." But also, I don't get what he's going to do because they've graduated. Why do they have any contact?
No, why? You would be like, you're done.
Yeah.
Unless he gets into Harvard. Does everyone get into Harvard?
I don't know. This whole movie's paid by Harvard so that they can be like, no, it's easy to get into now. We're losing like alumni.
And it ends, and like at least this time they learnt what bloopers are. Because, like, in the
Oh,
first
there's
one...
still weird lesbian stuff.
What do you mean?
The two girls, literally, so far,
Yes.
2 for 2, every end credits have had women making out.
They
and
have.
I think that's just on the pervert director. But I think is it just the 2 extras making out for the sake of it, or is it written for the film? It's like, have they pulled a fast one where they're like, don't worry, you're in the movie, and the director's going, no, you're in the bloopers.
Oh. Okay, so if it's the...
Did we say the twist was the fact she got accepted into 2 schools?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Also, they drive side by side illegally, and I thought one was going to die.
Oh, there's so many... that's right, they ride into the sunset. Yeah, they were going to crash.
Yeah, and I think there's a famous song playing at the end, and I was like, oh. My other compliment is, because I've had to hear it twice this week, the song that plays during the kissing booth montage I find very catchy. It's like, woo ba doo da doo 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 doo.
No, Carl, stop, we'll get copyrighted. Too close to the actual song.
But yeah, I don't know, that's the kissing booth too, I guess.
Okay, Carl, who would watch this?
Not me.
We have watched it.
If I had the choice of turning this one off, I absolutely would have.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. It's not fun. It's nowhere near as fun as the first one. It's not as campy and silly and stupid. It doesn't have as many, like, dumb choices, like writing or directing choices or character choices.
Fun to watch, whereas this one, like, I wouldn't say competently filmed, but like
it's like, yeah, I think the movie is genuinely better in terms of it being bits of films.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as pedestrian and poorly made as the first.
But the issue is that when you take off that, then it's just like a very bad, long 3 out of 10 film.
Like, I don't know who it's for in terms of the fact that I think if you like the first one, I don't know if you're going to like this one. It's too long.
I don't think people have, actually. I don't because the first one I think is campy and fun. This one's long. Yeah. Not really much gets resolved.
It takes itself too seriously, and then it's mainly that. The middle's very serious. Yeah. And because so, it's very boring.
And everyone kind of makes bad decisions.
Yeah, and it's not as overacted as the first.
That's the issue. The first one's funny and a bit bad. This one's credit to the filmmaker. They're improving, but like as a result, it's just a lot longer.
Yeah. This is everything could be tightened.
Yeah.
Like I think genuinely if the movie was like 100 minutes or 90 minutes and they trimmed a lot of the fat, maybe it could be as fun and dumb as the first.
Yeah.
But it's not. In terms of who I think it's for, God, you've got to be very invested in their relationship if you want to enjoy this film.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are. It's going to be interesting to see who actually listens to this episode, because I think people that don't like the kissing booth don't care enough to listen to a podcast on people dissing it. And then people that like it probably don't want to hear us dissing it.
No.
So, like, yeah, I just don't know.
This is a bad audience for anybody.
Who do you think this is for?
I've just
Who would watch this?
Psychopaths with no remorse, but want to get a better at having no empathy. Just learning from Lee, and I can say it in my voice. They're so... If you want to learn how to be a bad person, follow what these characters have done. It's an instruction manual.
If you wanna be a good person in high school, watch this film and then do none of it.
Yeah, do the opposite of it's a perfect guide of what not to do. In fairness, they're popular. Maybe that's what you have to do to be popular.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah, absolutely not.
What do you mean? Talking? We won't get into that.
I don't know, but I was popular in high school. Didn't do any of this shit.
Well, you didn't speak over the intercom how you wanted to eat a woman? You're the weirdo in this relationship. You were popular.
I ran into a lot of cakes, I'll tell you right now, but everybody loved me.
They always cheered.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. I don't know.
If you want to be exhausted by a film, this is it. This is probably the most defeated.
Did you watch this in 2 viewings or 1?
No, I watched this in 1
God, that must have been rough.
It was.
So because your girlfriend actually liked the first one, non-ironically.
Yeah.
What did she think of this one?
She really hated it. I think that shows that this
Yeah, so then it's like, who would watch it?
No.
I don't know who would watch this. I think you know what? I think everyone's going to watch this one. I don't know how many people are going to return for the third.
I think, well, I mean, here's the thing, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it's free at this point, like short Netflix. But like, if the third one comes on, we're gonna essentially watch it.
Yeah, we will. 100%. It comes out in a year's time.
Yeah.
It's going to be our anniversary screening. It's fun.
Listen, it's so popular, and people are watching it, obviously, but I don't know why. I don't know why. The first one I got, this one, I think everyone that's watched it after it's been just...
The first one has a very clear demographic, I think, of young people that like young, dumb teen rom-coms.
Which works.
And I don't think this has any of the good attributes that the first one has.
No.
So I don't know, like, who... Also, I don't think the cliffhanger's that good.
No.
Why wouldn't she just choose Noah's?
I don't think it's any...
Lee should be with his girlfriend. Lee should be going to Berkeley with his girlfriend or going to the college that his girlfriend's going to. I don't know why. This isn't a difficult decision.
Exactly. One's Harvard. I mean, sure, Berkeley's good, but like...
How's Michael and Chloe going to play into it? Like, I feel like their roles are fulfilled.
Chloe might still be there.
But I don't know, like, what's she going to serve? Like, is she just going to be more of like, are you still cheating with her?
I think so. I think they're just going to kind of just continue that. And it's going to be a very long... How long do you think the next one's going to be?
Oh, God. I think it's going to be like Avengers Endgame level of like
Everyone's
3
back.
hours 10. Everybody's back. There's going to be like a big thing where it's like, look, this person from the first one you forgot about. The Gazebo Man's back. Gazebo Man.
Gazebo Man, he's a ghost.
Yeah. Gazebo Ghost.
I'll reel sum up. I don't know who's going to watch this.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a more succinct kind of like roundabout. Like, I just think it's not as fun. It's not as campy. It's too long. It's better acted in parts. I think, unfortunately, Joel Courtney's not great.
No.
It's better in Super 8.
Yeah.
Here's my review. Watch Super 8
Watch
instead.
Super 8.
It's fun.
If you want, who's this film for? People that haven't watched Super 8, go watch that.
Go watch Super 8 and enjoy that one more. So yeah, I'm very interested to see where they go with the third one. I hope it's just... I don't know. I don't know what to call it.
I think the issue is they film this back to back, so like they can't really change much in the third one. It's gonna be more of this.
It's going to be very Avengers Endgame-y.
Yeah.
It's filmed back to back. Big cliffhanger.
Big cliffhanger.
You know what would have been crazy if the cliffhanger was like they got hit by a truck on that road at the end?
That would have woken me up.
Oh, yeah. And it would have been like, find out who died, like, next year. And everybody would have been like, God, I hope it's Lee.
We all hope it's Lee. Lee hopes it's Lee.
I hope everyone gets a haircut. That's my big takeaway. Everyone needs a fucking hair.
shaves his head. They wouldn't have, would they?
Yeah. Tuppin's bald in the
good.
next one. You know, I love it. Everyone's just bald in the next film. They overdo it. Everybody's hairless. Looks like a dystopian future.
Except for Joey King, who's just like, I'm used to this. She's got a little bit of...
Yeah, she's got a little bit of fuzz.
A little bit of peach fuzz.
Yeah, and then just her Golden Globe nomination. She's just holding it.
Which is the concept of a nomination.
Yeah, I don't know. She's printed out a piece of paper that's like, I am Golden Globe nominated, and just she hugs it.
And I'm in this film.
I'm in the
Help
act.
me.
So yeah, I don't know. There's that, I guess.
There's that.
What a sad end note. I feel like we're both very ruined.
Oh, we've ruined this. Don't watch this. Who's this for? Don't watch it. It crushes people. Listen to this podcast and
I'm
say
trying to
it 4
think if
times.
this is like a proper... I think you have to be younger than 12 to watch this.
Yeah.
Who is this for? People younger than 12. But then I think it's too young for under 12s.
And I think it's too
Also,
long.
it's too mature for under 12s. What am
Yeah.
I saying? Nobody should watch... You need to be very old. I think you need to be... You know what? Over 60.
Yeah,
That's for over 60-year-olds. They're trying to be rad and understand kids. It's for over 60-year-olds.
Well, those kids do this dance games all the time.
It's for pensioners. There we go. P for pensioners.
And on that note, who would watch this? Pensioners.
Yeah. We've done it. Who would watch this? It's pensioners.
All right, Carl. Well, next week we'll be doing The Exorcist 2.
Dose. Oh.
Damn, I thought we forgot our Spanish listeners.
Gotta get them out there. And I've never seen the first one, so I'll also be watching the first one this
so
week.
we'll watch the first one and we'll watch the second one, see how they compare. We'll try and more talk about the second one, a bit alluding to the first, but I'm keen to see it because it has awful reviews.
It does, and also considering the first one has some of the best reviews,
Yeah.
so it's a real night and day. I'm keen to see
I'm very
why it's so terrible.
All right, Carl.
Yeah.
Well, see you next week. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.